What's up, guys? Today we're coming at you with a Stardust Assault Mode deck profile. So let's jump into the deck profile and let's see what we're coming at you with. To start things off, we're running one Stardust Assault Mode. The only reason why we're running one of this card is the card is a very situational card. And even if you get one of them out on the board, one should be enough to really slow down your opponent for the way the deck is played. If you get one of these out there, he's pretty much like a Solemn Warning with legs. You just get him out there. Anytime your opponent activates a card effect, you get to say no, negate it, it goes off, and then you bring it back at the end phase. It's a very, very good card, especially if you set up your plays right. You could really start locking your opponent out from things that they want to do. Next, we're running 3 Assault Beast. Assault Beast is just all around good card. It helps you get to your Assault mode and to be able to help you get into your Stardust Assault mode. He's all around a good beater with 1900 attacks. So even if you get Stardust Assault mode out there, don't just go ahead and send another one to get the other Assault mode out of the deck. Just go ahead and start beating down your opponent from there. And what we decided to do is we decided to run a Herratic engine with it because Herratics are very, very versatile and very, very fast. So we're running 3 Herratic Sues. Herratic Sues is going to help you clear off that back row, tribute a Herratic in the hand or on the field, clear off that back row, get that normal monster out there, go into your Stardust or whatever play you want to go into. We're also running 3 Tefnuit. Tefnuit just to be able to help you get that special summon to the field. If your opponent has a monster over there that's just like a Cyber Dragon, drop it straight to the field, then tribute over it with the Sue, go on with your plays from there. We're running 3 Nabet. Nabet is just good for the field removal, to be able to tribute a Herratic in the hand or the field. To be able to pop a monster on the field can help you out a lot. And they can help you get into some other good synchro plays that you wouldn't normally go into. And lastly, for the Herratics, we're running 3 Iset. Iset is just all around good for getting that good normal summon to the field, tribute over it, going with your combo plays from there. We're also running 2 normal monsters and 1 Galaxy Serpent and 1 Wildtail Dragon. And the reason why I decided to go with this lineup, Wildtail Dragon, if you tribute over it with the Tefnuit, Tefnuit is going to go ahead and bring out your Galaxy Serpent. So it's going to be an easy, quick level 8 synchro. Also on top of that, if you go ahead and tribute off another Herratic for another Herratic, you just go ahead and get your Galaxy Serpent, go and get the special summon from there. And you can just use your Wildtail Dragon if you're using it, or go into your XYZ play. So it can help out with the deck with the setup. We're running 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon just because Red Eyes Darkness Metal is just good for any dragon deck. It's a monster reborn. So if any of your monsters get wiped out, go and bring them back, run over your opponent from there. And lastly, for the monsters, we're running 2 Honest. Just because the majority of the deck is light monsters, to be able to run an Honest in the deck just helps out with other good little plays to make sure your opponent just doesn't get too brave on you, and you make sure you can keep them at bay. But that is it for our monsters. For our spell cards, we're running 3 Herratic Seal of Convocation. This helps to search out the whole Herratic engine to be able to get any Herratic you need. You only need 2 Herratics to start the combo. 3 is just, gravy train after that to be able to get those Herratics out there and just go ham on your opponent, just go off on them. We're running 1 Soul Charge just in case plays don't go the way you want to, or if the play goes the way you want to and you just want to make another play on top of it, Soul Charge is there to help you to do that play. We're running 1 Dragon's Mirror to be able to go off on your opponent, just go all the way in, get that 5-headed dragon, pop your opponent in the biscuit. We're also running 2 Dark Hole. That way we make sure our field is clear. That way you can go and get that good hit that you want to get in on your opponent. And we're also running 1 Raigeki to make sure you keep that completely board wiped off. You don't want to see your opponent getting too much over there while you keep getting the advantage. We're also running 2 Scapegoats. We're also running a 2 Scapegoat to be able to help to get into our Link monsters. Link monsters is the new way to go. And also too, this is a good way to get defensive board. That way your opponent just doesn't try to just run you over. And lastly, we're running 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. MST is just all around good just to be able to get that back row cleared off. You have your Tefnuits and you also have the MSTs to be able to do that. So you make sure your opponent stays on at a disadvantage at all times. But that's it for our spell cards. For our trap cards, we're running 1 Solemn Warning and 2 Solemn Strike. And the reason why we want to run this lineup, we got plenty of monster effects that are popping off. Be able to put a lock on them, say no sir, you don't want that. And you want the Solemn Warning just to be able to say, guess what, I don't want that normal summon altogether, sir. You're getting a little too crazy over there. But for this lineup, it's pretty good and it keeps your opponent at bay. We're running 2 Assault Mode Activate. This helps you to get to your Stardust Assault Mode. Have a Stardust out there, flip this card, bring out your Stardust Assault Mode from the deck, and then just start running over your opponent from there. And lastly, for the traps, we're running 2 Mirror Force just to be able to make sure that if your opponent decides to go off on you and has a whole bunch of link monsters out there, make them pay for having all those link monsters out there because they can't go to defense mode. So guess what? Go and get them off the field. But that is it for our main deck. For our extra deck, we're running 1 5-headed dragon. 5-headed dragon is all around good. Use your dragon mirror. Whatever dragons you don't need, banish them on out. Hit them with that 5k to the biscuit. We're running 2 Psyframe Lord Omegas just to be able to get that insight on your opponent. Be able to clear out your opponent's hand, put them at a little bit of a disadvantage, see what they've got going over there on their game plan. Also on top of that, if your Psyframes get destroyed, to be able to recycle them back, do it to your opponent all over again. We're running 2 Stardust Dragon. This card, you need it to. You want to be able to get into your Assault Mode Activate. You want to get to that Assault Mode Activate as fast as possible. So to be able to get this Stardust out there, get that Stardust Assault Mode Activate now going, get that going, hit your opponent to the biscuit. The main reason why you want these and the Psyframe Lord Omegas is you want to clear out that extra spot in your extra monster zone. That way you can keep generating, keep looping your opponent, and that way you get free monsters out of that extra monster zone spot and bring them to your board. We're running 1 Stardust Spark. The reason why we're doing this is to make sure we can protect our link monster. Like I said, your opponent, you won't be able to destroy theirs, but you won't be able to make sure you can protect yours. That way you can keep getting link monsters out there, and also to get more special summons to your side of the field. We're running 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon just to be able to protect those special summon monsters that we got out there. They're level 8, so you won't be able to protect those Synchro monsters, and this is a guy that's going to be able to help you be able to do that. He's a good all-around card, so he's very useful for the deck. We're running 1 Michael just to be able to get that field clearance. Yes, he's going to mill for you, but you don't worry about that. The main thing you want to worry about is being able to pay that 1,000, banish off that problem card. We're running 1 Gaia Dragon and Thunder Charger just to be able to overlay over to our Exceed monsters and be able also to be able to do that trample effect to them. We're running 1 number 39 Utopia Beyond to be able to get this guy on board and have, 2 Omegas coming back to be able to drop your opponent's monsters down to 0. That's very, very good. I like that a lot. We're running 1 Photon Strike Balancer. Sometimes your opponent gets some crazy effects popping off, so you won't be able to get this monster out there and say, no, no, sir, no effects for you. We're running 1 Heradic Dragon King of Atum. We're running Heratics to be able to special summon dragons out of the deck, keep going with those good crazy plays, and even help you get into some Link monster plays too. It's very, very good. Speaking of our Link monsters, we're running 2 Link Spiders. We'll use these to get out by our Scapegoat tokens, get 2 of these out, then go into our Deco Talker play, go on there from there, synchro up. And lastly, for the extra deck, we're running 1 Deco Talker just because he's going to help us get 2 extra zone spots opened up and help us to beat our opponent down. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. Let us know what you think. We're out.